of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Have a good evening. Oh man, but you're right, Holy-Apostle. It's how people, these real niggas.
Real niggas up
Now, where is those so-called freedom fighters or so-called civil rights people who out there who can really speak about the injustice that have not affected these? They're not only victims of this, but the true perpetrators.
Right.
The slaves, they won't do it.
They couldn't
make a comment on the ring.
Oh, he did make it. See, Sharp always speak out.
Yeah, he'll speak against them. See, you got to understand something. People like us, we'll sit here and we'll speak on the television set.
Right.
We put our life on the line because after we on the television set, we out in the community.
Right.
All right. Most people will not come. Most people are not bred like us. You understand? They come from that other cloth, that house nigga cloth.
Yeah.
You know, they don't mind staying slaves because they eating good and they playing with masters' children. You know, and they got the promise that their children gonna be able to play with their children. So they happy, you know, because they don't believe that they ever can be free because they know the devil is the devil. And the devil manifests heavy with Massa.
Right.
You know, because Massa got them enslaved and tied up. So that mentality is not going, you can't change it. It's like trying to change an alligator into a snake.
Right.
You just can't do it. You can play with the DNA, but you're going to get a snalligator, if anything.
Right.
You ain't going to get an alligator or a snake. You know what I'm saying? So these people, they are picked. They're watched. They're groomed. Don't think that you're not watched in school. They in the education system. Why you think the government's so deep on the education system? Because they're watching to see who's doing what, who's learning what. You understand? If you got problems, they'll go and have people question your children, try to find out what's going on today in your home. They started this diary thing years ago. You know, having the children write a diary. Why all of a sudden you want your children, the children in school to write a diary?
Right.
And then the teachers go look in the diary to see what they're doing. That's when they was making a move against our people.
Yeah.
You know? But I told my children, lie in the diary if you have to.
Yeah.
But you better not tell them anything about our lives. You feel where I'm coming from, and I'm telling you people, I told them to lie. You don't have to tell the enemy the truth.
Right.
You don't have to tell your enemy how to hurt you.
They've taken one of the greatest tricks that the devil used, one named Hitler. Anytime you attack a group of people, they always attack the children. Hitler went for the young.
That's how Hitler found out about
the parents. What do your parents do in your houses? And the kids start becoming turncoats and snitching, and then he.
Well, at first the children didn't know they was telling them.
They know they were doing it
because they got all that information long before they went and took them. They didn't just get the information. They didn't go get the parents.
Right.
They had a program,
yeah.
Just like this nation had a program. Right. You understand? They don't have to go in school now and ask.
No, they don't.
They have to get the few that's not in on the internet.
Right.
And that's why they made going to the schools and set up these programs.
Right.
But they got everybody fooled now where they telling their whole life on the internet, on chat, email, on their cell phones, telling everything, and they just constantly piping in to whom they will. Why do you think they can go find some of these guys that they want to find?
I'm about to say that, right.
When it comes to these bombs, whoever planning on bombing the Air Force base or the Army base or trying to hit a dignitary or something, because they in on everybody, in on everything. They got certain words that you use that will come up. Like if you say Allah, that's gonna click
Right.
in the internet, right?
Yeah.
On the computer, and the satellite, whatever that process gonna take it, and then they gonna read your information.
Right.
Now, people can say, how do they have they taking our rights? No, they not. Because every computer you buy is owned by the company.
Right.
You never can own a computer. That's why they have you sign that.
Software.
The software contract. That's right. That's what that's all about.
You can own
agree
the
to this?
machine, but you can't own the program.
Software,
Anything that when it come on boot, none of that is yours.
Right.
So they have a right to go in. They did that on purpose.
And another thing that they do, a lot of people don't understand. African Americans never understand things. You know, we think that when they take an interest in us, that's so nice.
Oh yeah.
That when we taught A.H.A.D, they learned how to talk that.
Oh,
They
yeah.
learned to understand that. When we start speaking Ebonic, they got
Got
involved
to
with that. It ain't that they
No, they want to keep up with us.
They want to know what we're
you
doing.
talking about?
Then you got, and I just try to impart this to African American young people especially. There is nothing wrong with being fruitful and multiplying. That's what the Lord called you to. But you have to learn how to take care of your responsibilities. You have to learn how to clothe them, feed them, shelter them, nurture them, educate them. Those is your responsibility. It is a shame that we have allowed them to let abortion exist. You can't hear me now?
No, he said.
Oh.
Oh,
I
they
don't
can hear
like
you.
it.
It must be something you want
We
to talk
we
about.
we have allowed abortions to exist like birth control pills. We have allowed birth control pills to cause us not to ever get pregnant or have a long period of time before we can get pregnant. We have allowed them to come into the school system, because I had a problem with this at the beginning of the year, where they want to come teach my children sex education and condoms, and where in the world are we at as parents? I don't need you to give my daughter anything that's going to make her feel like she can sneak and have sex, and you're going to help her cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because all they doing, y'all, is they're saying, go ahead, you can do it, but protect yourself, and if you get pregnant, we could kill the child. Then you ain't going to get enough education. You ain't going to be able to take care of your children. They got you doing everything backwards.
Yeah.
They got you tearing up your body.
Yeah.
They got you laying in the bed, can't get out and go to work with all this sex videos with the girls with their booties all and hanging out.
And
What
they
do
showing these
this
videos
song
in
got
school.
to do with a naked booty? What do it have? One ain't got nothing to do with another.
Well, look at this lady who.
Beyonce, what do she got to do with her crouch all open have to do with what she's singing about? Well, some of that stuff she's singing about have something to do with her crouch all open. But we got to look at that they leading us to the lowest things in life. They're destroying us when we are allowing them. That's the whole thing.
Well,
We're
look
allowing
at
them.
this
to
lady,
do this.
Maya Angelou. She's not that really attractive looking, but they made her great.
She's her. Yeah, yes.
For that poem
I
about
rise.
I rise because of my thighs.
Yeah, and people
You know
love
what I'm
that
saying?
song, that poem.
Now, look at Brother Spike Lee. Ain't got no problem with it, but they said he was a genius.
Right.
And Spike told himself, I ain't know nothing about what I was doing.
Right.
I was just doing. But he had his little camera and they let him through.
Right.
And then they want to point us to us because he ain't telling us nothing.
Right.
Spike sounded like he was saying
Right.
something,
Mhm.
but he wasn't saying nothing. You know, he was aggravating to me because,
Can
you
I
know,
spin in the camera?
well, no.
Yeah.
What
That's
the
aggravating.
subject
His techniques,
matter,
yeah.
the subject matter of his stuff was always after the fact. Don't get down about the Newark riots that happened 40 years ago. Remind us about it, but talk about what's the riots that's going on in our minds and our hearts now.
Right.
Don't talk about yesteryear. That's already been solved. You know, if it hasn't been solved, it's passed on. We got to deal with what's going on now.
Oh, but like you said, Holy-Apostle.
But look who appointed him
I'm about to
as
say-
a genius.
Them.
The enemy.
Right.
And see, this whole thing, what you was talking about, it's like, I've always said it. How can the civil rights leaders, the so-called African leaders, African American leaders, the Jesse Jacksons and the Sharp and all the rest of them, the money men, how could they sit back and not fight for our children to be educated by us in a free education? And when I say free education, I'm talking about the information. You know, how is it that they fighting for us to get rid of niggas so we'll forget about the slavery and the Uncle Toms and the guys who devised how to keep us in slavery and what have you? You know, instead of fighting to get us true education. And the other problem is them suckers, they don't even have true education. They don't know true education because the ones they running behind will not teach them true education.
Messenger, you said two things that our people need to really focus on. One thing that the Caucasian, those in power want us to always remember, they keep living in the past. We got Black History Month coming up in February, next month. What is the thing they always show our people?
All that
surprise,
slavery stuff getting our butts beat.
Never taking us to a solution or a way of correcting,
taking us to the church, and they the ones gave us that Christian religion to keep us in slavery, huh? And they're using it quite well.
Oh man,
I'm like,
two things happen.
Man,
through history, we know it, and Allah give us the sign of showing that. Anytime you want to slave a kind of people, they will send the religionists in first as missionaries.
Yeah.
Whether it's South America and Asia,
yeah, because it has worked.
Religion, and it calm the people down. Then come the weapons of war.
Yeah.
Calm down, weapons of war.
And first
they gotta
find out. They gotta find out their religion.
Right.
They'll send somebody in there. First they'll send explorers in there.
Under the name of
and then they try to become of the natives. You know? The nice people of the natives to find out what their culture is all about, what their religion is all about. Yes, they come in there all nice. And then come the clergy.
Sweet with the poison, like you always say.
Then come the clergy. And after the clergy come the military.
From the beginning, it
and after the military come the politicians. And after the politicians come the gangsters, the exploitation.
Taking
all their riches.
How can you?
And that happened in every place in the world.
When we were in this war with Iraq.
But you gotta let the people know we're not racist.
No.
And this is not hate
talk. No.
And some people think that it's hate talk. They try to say Elijah was talking.
But it's only our people though.
Yeah, but their masters is telling them that that it's hate. Look at them, they talking hate. They talking against our religion. Your religion. What kind of religion is you?
I laugh.
You know.
I had to give you a picture, man. It's like the Caucasian tell me, don't watch that show, but master, you watching the program.
Yes.
And it's like that. But our people put the blinds up. Okay, we don't see that. Okay. Don't like him. Hate him.
Yeah.
But they tuned in.
Don't read that book. Read just
he right.
You know?
He right.
Yeah.
He right. But don't you
listen to him.
Right.
You know.
Oh, my grandmother was very good at that. That's why I said you got people in your family.
Exactly what you speak to a child.
My grandmother was good at that.
Don't do what I say, do what I do.
Let me tell you something. I am so happy that I came up during a time when I seen for myself Elijah saying that these people were doers of evil, were demons of evil, were devils.
Right.
And them saying how he was wrong for saying that.
Right.
And our people saying, yeah, he's wrong, he's teaching hate and this, that, and the other. They're not devils. The devil is in hell down in the earth, and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, what made me so happy was to hear the Caucasians calling little children little devils. I mean, like we would say, oh, you such a little lamb, you little God, you're so sweet, you this, that. Their thing was, you little devil, you. He's such a devil. And that's all they talked about when I was growing up. And I would say, they calling themselves devils.
Right.
Why they don't get angry when they call themselves devils and they getting angry with this man calling them a devil?
Right.
What's going on?
Right. Like a psychology But psychology thing going on.
If you look at them, you know, and it's pathetic, but they do follow the patterns of destroying the world. You know, now they out in outer space destroying that, and leaving everybody else up there who will follow them to destroy the outer space. You know, but
let me just reiterate and fighting to keep their businesses going. You know,
let me just reiterate that Ahezaah has sent me as a messenger to all the people. You know, we just stuck on our people right now. Because it's in our heart to see our people do right, you know. But I call all the people. But trust me, if I got 1 billion Caucasians with me, supporting me, and bringing forth the truth, I'm not going to change my words of the truth.
Right.
The truth is the truth, and I'm not going to act like they did not do the things that they've done and that they're not doing the things that they're doing, and then I'm not going to try to cover the African American people and act like they're not guilty, of all these things they're doing, you know. And them Native Americans, they got what they deserved. The Lord don't make no mistakes. They had turned away from Ahezaah themselves and worshiping material things and worshiping all these different so-called gods and animals. You understand what I'm saying? And knowing the name of who? And Huvah and Allah. They knew they had the wisdom and everything. They come from China and they had 10,000 years ago, they had other messengers of the Lord came before Muhammad and Abraham and whoever, you know what I'm saying? Coming to them. You know, so they had the word.
But what I was saying, like going back to where we started at, because of that mixed thing, I've always respected my elder. That is the way I was raised. You respect your elder.
Yeah.
But I remember the 2 biggest fights me and my grandmother had was because I was pointing out clearly the injustice that African American people experience by the hands of the Caucasian. And she was like, you're just like them other niggers. Think it's the white man, this, that, and the other. And I'll never forget, I stayed mad at her for quite some time. Because I was like, how could she just ignore what I'm pointing out? It's so clear. And then one day, I sat back and it came to me.
She was Caucasian.
She got them in her. It's only right for her to defend. That's what's in her. That's exactly where Obama stands.
That's what he's the same way.
My grandmother, father, I know that she didn't even know the man, but you cannot tell me if she was born back in 1919 in where was it? Not Maine, but it was either Maine, somewhere where I never heard African American people. And her mother got there from Georgia. You ain't, it ain't like we had family there.
She bypassed New York,
Boston. It was Maine. It was Maine. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is not to make it personal, but what I'm saying is that you have these mix of that gene in there. And when you look at us, when you never know which way we're going to go.
I wonder if because of this mix, Lord, because of this mix that makes us so prone and subject to be exploited and used by people that come from the shores from all places,
it's not so much that it has a number of things to do with it. First of all, we were nurtured as a people when the portion of us that was taken from Africa was nurtured as a people. Then you had the conquered ones, the Native Americans, who was nurtured as well. You know, some of them are so more brainwashed than us. You understand what I'm saying? And you had that was the first mix. Then you had the mix of the Caucasians in, so you're naturally inclined to them because that's a part of yourself. Then you had this influx of all these people and all these races through all the times where the Caucasians said, well, you're not like these people, don't mess with these people, these are our slaves.
Right.
Don't let them into this or that, or that, else we're going to get you. So everybody that came in treated us like second-class human beings. But they made it with our women and our men.
Right.
Huh?
And our money. What little bit we had.
Forget the money. I'd rather them have taken the money and not taken our lives.
Right.
You understand? But me, myself, being of a mixed race of people, because I'm not straight up African,
Right.
nor am I straight up Native American. But I could feel the three that's in me that I believe is in me, because I didn't choose to feel what I feel about them. It's in me. I know what I'm inclined to. So I act accordingly to these different people by my instinctive nature.
But what I wanted to say
You
is,
know?
us
Right.
being mixed has caused a large confusion. But see, Ahezaah is not absent of nothing. Ahezaah does things for a reason. It don't allow the salt water to mix with the
We
red
are the
water.
best people right now. We are the best people to lead the world back to where we supposed to be, because we're mixed with everybody. This is what
Right.
she's trying to
We
say.
are the chosen.
We're the chosen people.
Right.
And we're the ones been remixed with every race of people that came through the United States of America for the past 400, 500
What
years.
mistake when they did
Right.
that.
It
Right.
don't make a mistake.
And that's what it told Prophet Muhammad. I will create a new people
Right.
to hold the beauty of my word.
Right.
You know, and we are that people, but some of us can't get with it, you know. Some of us just, it's so hard to break the mold of serving the devil and those who are the advocates of the devil, that we can't get to Allah. We rather go to Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or anybody that our so-called masters had told us to go to. And we don't even want to go to Allah. We want to go to God.
Yeah.
Huh? And what is a God?
Anything
God
else?
can be anything.
There you go. I think about how they have, like, when they go around and do the so-called census or whatever, and they put their ethnicities in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always inclined sometimes that why they always have the other box that say other at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever question that. Because you don't fit the other, because they break down ethnicities by African, Negro, Black. They break it down. Asian, Latino, or whatever. But then they got what is that other? Now, we all check the other box because our being mixed with everything, that go back to what we was always talking about before. Certain things be open up to you, doors, the avenue, because you're not just African, but they have fixes that pushes into you only African. Maybe you may not think in mind and heart that you just, like you said about the other side of you that nobody sees. That's part of spirituality.
Well, they
And
got an issue. They got an issue going on now about that very thing, about applications. Negro, African American, or colored, or something like that.
Right,
there. And it was on the news 2 days ago. And I just caught them saying that, and I had to run, and I didn't get any more about it.
Right.
But this is supposed to be an issue at hand right now about, how they putting forth these applications and what they putting up in there, because I guess more people is becoming more aware of this mix, maybe because of what we saying, or maybe because I don't hear nobody else talking about this.
No, I do.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that it's becoming an issue. What do you call us? Because we changed what we call ourselves like the seasons, man.
Or they changed what they call it, because we've been allowed to call ourselves all those things from.
Oh, they never changed it. We change it.
Right. Well, we don't want to be
We
called.
change it. We got.
Don't call me black.
You got the old. Don't call me black. I ain't black.
Right.
I'm colored. What color are you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And some is like, I'm Negro.
Right.
And then the other thing, the issue about Muslim and Christian. You got the black people hating Islam and hating Muslims, and you say, why do you hate them? I don't know. They ain't Christian.
You ain't talking to Jesus.
Little boy the other day, talking about Muslims. I'm like, you guys a problem.
You knee high to a grasshopper.
I
Muslim.
I'm like,
You
you
know,
got a
Right in the
problem.
house at the barbecue.
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't
But you
believe it.
can't hardly blame because the African American Muslims did not educate the people in the proper manner. they had an education. They could have went from what Elijah told them to Orthodox Islam
Right.
and a smooth transition if it was brought to them, right? You understand what I'm saying? But they still not free. With all that information they have, they're not free. They think knowledge is the way. Knowledge is not the way. The Lord is the way. The Lord itself is the way. So they you know, they're being pawns, right?
Saying, right?
And now here it is. Allah done gave us something to set us free, and we choose to be looked upon as bomb makers,
Right.
bank robbers, dope pushers, dope takers. You know, instead of what Allah has set forth for us in the beauty of the Quran. Who can understand Michael Jackson accepting Islam?
That's right.
And why all of a sudden this people somebody had him killed? You know?
Right.
They couldn't understand him accepting Islam.
Right.
But Michael seen the beauty in the Holy Quran. And he understood it because they kicked him out of the Jehovah's Witness because he did a video that mocked TV.
That's right.
And then they said he was a devil worshiper. They couldn't take him.
Right.
They had got enough of his money. You know? And then he accepted Islam and they like, hey, look at him now. He's lost. He's this, he's that.
Right.
But they knew somebody had to get rid of him because he had accepted Islam. They couldn't afford him. That was just like Martin Luther King accepting Elijah. They could not afford him, not with all them people, all them white people and Caucasians listening to him. They could not afford to have their people set free in that. No, you can't. We can't let you see Islam in the true way that it is.
But the craziness of, like that Holy Apostle said, the craziness of that is those in the position of power know what Allah sent down in the Quran is true. They but they're holding their sacred altars in their houses of worship where they worship Satan at. This is the truth, but we don't give them that.
Right.
We give them this.
Right.
But we know it. Our women in the high secret society cover everything in Islam. They do.
They know what's true, but their true God is their power.
And their money
that
and
sense
their
of power,
devil have given that trick.
position, that illusion of power. Lord,
And the
their
people
God.
over here thinking they protecting them people.
I know.
In Iraq and Iran, all they doing is going over there,
Setting
pumping them up
setting
with
them up.
poison. They got the now. Why would you take a bunch of Muslim sisters and put them in the
On the
newspaper
videos and
video of them exercising, half dressed? Why is that important to show the American people?
Yeah.
That's to say, look, we getting them to adopt our way because our way is right.
That's the whole trick.
Look what the Pope did. Had all them people from all the religions come, and then 3 days after they came and kissed his hand, wherever Muhammad included, kissing his hand and everything, he turned around and said, see, our way is the right way.
Even they bow.
They bow before the right.
Yeah, they bow, and they know he's the devil. They know he's of the devil.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
they know it.
They're just leading, pumping them people up, leading them astray so they can get the spoils of war and take their
That's all.
But the sad part is our people who know it, and then when they find something out about these secret orders, they too punkish to come and tell the people because they know that they don't have no protection from Allah. The Jesse Jacksons and all them, they don't believe in Jesus and what have you like they say they do. If they did, how could they do wrong? How could they play politicians? How could they do it? They know that the legal laws is against the divine laws. They know the legalities in society is wrong. The uneven courts and system. That injustice. You know? They know better than the Jews who say, hey, you kill one of ours, we got to kill 12 of yours.
Yeah, that's what they do.
You know? They know it's a terrible thing, man, this uneven system of justice. But what can we do? We can pray and just wait and be delivered by the Lord that promise is going to deliver us. And when we look out here at the world and what's going on with the world coming down, you could believe what they say about its nature and we're going to overcome this. But I say wait and see.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see to the next program of this A.H.A.D moment. We hope you enjoyed what you heard. Write to us at A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, Newark, New Jersey 07103, or via the internet at thirdhouse@yahoo.com. Lord Holy-Apostle Deen.
Yes, it's been a pleasure.
Holy Queen Mother Rabbit, Brother Fat Kid.
fact, yeah.
Audience that's here, those watching, man, ease is peace and a little blessing.
Who
About
of
your
you
presence.
want to
Love
do
you, love you,
things
have a
right?
video.
To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right?